Okay, let's go over the musical structures concept of the tetrachords. This is basically the hierarchy of how things are saved and set up. So at the top of the hierarchy, we have songs. You can have 8 songs. In each song, you can have progressions, and you can have 8 progressions per song. And in each progression, you have patterns, and you can have 8 patterns per progression. So by default, we are on song 1. And how to know which song you're on is by pressing and holding song, and the LED pills will show you which song you are currently on. So if I want to load song 5, I simply hold song and press 5. And I can move to song 6 or song 4. And it looks like there's something in song 4. So say I want to save song 4, I can do that in 2 ways. I can either double tap song, and that will save the song that I'm currently working on, so song 4. But say I want to save the information from song 4 to song 1, to a different location, I can do that by pressing and holding shift, song, and then pressing any of the 8 locations to save to. So I'm going to press 1. Now the information I've saved to song 1. If I want to initialize this song, I can press and hold song and press reset. On the tetrachords, a song consists of 8 progressions. To see which progression you're on, simply press and hold PROG, and the white LED pill, the bright one, will show you what progression is currently active. By default, progression 1 is active. And to switch to a different progression, you simply press any of the 8 RGB buttons and it will navigate to the corresponding progression. To copy a progression, simply press and hold progression and press the right button, which will copy anything that was in the progression to the next slot. You can also copy to the previous slot by doing the same thing, pressing progression and pressing the left button. To initialize a progression, press and hold progression and press the reset button. You can also press and hold progression and press shift as a little shortcut to initialize the progression. On the tetrachords, a progression is made up of 8 patterns, and you'll see by default the pattern information is displayed on the LED pills above the RGB notes. So by default, I'm on pattern 1, as shown by this first pill here, and there is only 1 pattern active. So I'm going to go ahead and input some notes. And now this is what we call pattern 1. Pattern is a collection of notes. It can be either an ARP or a chord, doesn't matter. They're both pattern 1. So if I like this pattern and I want to make pattern 2, I press and hold pattern and the right button, and it will copy the information to the next pattern. So now pattern 2 is playing. I can make another one. Now I have 3 patterns which I can move between using the left and right buttons. And I can see which pattern is currently playing because it's the one that's brightly lit. And I can deactivate a pattern by pressing and holding pattern and pressing the corresponding pattern, and it will turn that pattern off and I won't be able to move to it. And then I can turn it back on by pressing and holding pattern and turning it back on. But I don't always have to move between them using the left and right buttons. I can also do it using CV. And by default, mod 6 is set up to move between patterns. So I'm going to send a trigger from the trigger riot to mod 6. And you'll see every time it gets a trigger, it moves to the next pattern. Okay, if I want to initialize a pattern, I simply press and hold pattern and press reset. And I can also do the little shortcut and press and hold pattern and press shift to initialize.